All right, Cooper Flagg has an awesome game against the Utah Jazz. Let's check out his highlights and then we'll check out his stats in a second here. I do have it muted or Adam Silver. Will 100% for sure send me to jail. Cooper loves going left. It's a beautiful little floater. Seems like he's probably been hanging out with Kyrie Irving with some of these finishes he was getting to in this game. Guess which way he's going? He's going left again with the lefty scoop. Really strong left hand. It seems like he prefers going left over going to his strong hand. On that one has a little counter. They're expecting him to go left and gets to his little turnaround. He does have a really nice mid-post game, especially for a rookie. That time he gets right for the and one. Just a strong finish. Cooper Flagg is already more than strong enough to play with these NBA guys, and he honestly bullies a lot of guys out there. Another lefty finish on that one. Here comes Clay coming off. Kyle Anderson probably yelled out to Ace Bailey, there's a screen coming, so Ace Bailey's kind of expecting it. Then Cooper explodes to the left. Just has such great athleticism and size once he gets to the rim, and he can finish over a lot of these guys in the league. Explodes left again. That's a ridiculous finish. I don't know if they get you a replay on that, but that's ridiculous. That's what I'm talking about. He's probably been hanging out with Kyrie. And just explodes. He's not even in the paint. Doesn't have 1 foot in the paint. And just throws up a ridiculous lefty floater. He got the and one on that one. Felt the reach in. It's like a veteran type of play, honestly. That is such a sick finish. Let's run it back one time. I do think it was a foul, but I think the foul got called late, to be honest. I think that first reach was a foul. If y'all see, he hits him right there's a foul, then dribbles again. I guess he kind of had the hand on the elbow, but I thought the foul was on the ground, in my opinion. His three-pointer is atrocious. It looks good. He's shooting a horrible percentage, but that one looks nice. He has good mechanics, so I think he will be able to improve that over time. And y'all see his stroke. He doesn't have a broken shot. I think he'll be fine. That's beautiful. Against the lefty. Of course, it'd be better to stay on your feet, but he can make that little mid-range fall away right there. He likes that shot as well. We already saw him make one, so kind of stops. I think that was Keyonte George, so he's a younger player as well. And then he bites on the pump fake by Cooper for that little up and under. Nemhard gets him in the post. I love him right there in the mid post. Just a beautiful pull-up. I love him in that little triple threat area. Just right over Keyonte George. Keyonte George is going to be too small to guard that. It's a sick play. Back-to-back blocks. See that one more time. Swats it again. I think that first one was on Lowry Markkinen as well, so that's really impressive. Comes off the screen. Guess which way he's going. He's blowing up to the left again. Just Cooper had an amazing game. Don't get me wrong, but the Jazz made no adjustments. They just let him get left and left. Goes left again on that one. He has a great left hand, but eventually, it's the coach's fault. You got to tell your guys, take that away, make him go to the right. On this one, he gets to the right on that one. And y'all saw the finish. It was a much tougher finish for him going right. They had him, way more under control. Still gets a great finish. Looks like they were looking for a foul. I didn't really see a foul on that play, if you ask me. This one's so sick as well. Just explodes to the left again, of course. And the and one. That's a Kyrie Irving style finish. He's for sure been hanging out with Kyrie. That's such a nasty finish. Goes up. Just blows by Keyonte George. Keyonte George, he's just going to be too small to guard that man out there. Awesome game from Cooper. We'll get to his stats here in a second. His rookie year has been awesome. I know people were calling him a bust after VJ Edgecomb. I think VJ Edgecomb's first game, he had like 35 points. I love VJ Edgecomb as well, but Cooper just a better prospect right now. he always was the better prospect. Even after BJ Edgecomb's big game, I still had Cooper as my number one pick. I honestly think Cooper would still go number one in this year's draft over AJ and Cameron Boozer and all those guys. I think Cameron Boozer is probably a better college player today than Cooper Flagg was when he was a freshman at Duke. But even that's arguable. I feel like Cooper has a bigger impact defensively and is just a more raw player. Kind of like how I look at AJ Dybantsa. If Cooper was coming out this year, I think some teams may draft Cameron Boozer over him just because Cameron Boozer's game is more polished right now. But I feel like Cooper just has a higher ceiling. Maybe AJ has a comparable ceiling, but I feel like Cooper's ceiling is higher than a lot of these guys out there. But this game against Utah, Dallas does lose, unfortunately for them, in overtime. Cooper takes the 27 shots. I love to see him get almost 30 shot attempts. That's the most field goal attempts he's had in any game all season. Anthony Davis was sitting this game out, so Cooper Flagg was kind of free to go out there and just hoop and get some shots up. He's 48% from the field, so he knocks down 13 of his 27 shots. 27 shots to score 42 points. I'll take it all day. That's just great efficiency. He does have the 2 blocks. We saw both of them in this video, those back-to-back blocks. He has the 1 steal. Honestly, I thought he'd be more impactful defensively from day one, and he's starting to have a greater impact on defense. He's just learning the NBA game more, kind of learning where players like to get the ball, learning players' tendencies, and as he's learning more about what teams want to run, what different teams want to run on offense, what certain players want to do on offense, he's learning how to better guard individual players, how to make them uncomfortable, where players are going to be at certain times in the game. And then once he gets himself in the right place defensively, then his athleticism can take over and get you these steals and these blocks. But as the season goes on, just his defensive IQ is getting higher. And now we're seeing him getting more blocks, more steals out there. He does have the 4 turnovers, so just is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't say it's too concerning. He has 0 turnovers these past 2 games. He has 4 this game. Rookies are going to have turnovers. It's all good. 75% from the free throw line. He takes freaking 20 free throw attempts in the game. I didn't see the whole game. I watched the 4th quarter. He was being aggressive. He was getting to the line. I mean, there were some calls that I thought were kind of ticky-tack. We saw that nasty Kyrie Irving style left-handed floater that I showed you guys where it looks like he gets fouled on the ground. And I thought they called the foul, 1 dribble late, and they give Cooper Flagg the and one on that play. There were a couple other ones where, I thought they were kind of questionable calls, but for the most part, just him getting downhill and, just getting downhill and getting fouled at the rim. He's 1 for 4 from 3. He shot 25% from 3. Down here is his stats so far on the season. He's shooting 25% from 3 just on the season. So, it's shitty. He has a really bad 3 ball. We'll just call it what it is. But his mechanics look really good. He shoots 80% from the free throw line for the whole season. So I can't think of one example of a player that shoots 80% from the free throw line and they continue to shoot 25% from 3. So I think it's going to come around. I think his 3 ball will improve. And then he shot 48% from the field again in this game. So just an amazing game. It was versus Utah. So, a lot of people have had great performances against Utah this season, just to be fair. But it's still an NBA team. Cooper went out. He did his thing out there. He's averaging 34 minutes so far on the season. He's given you 18.5 points per game, 1.3 steals, 0.7 blocks. I feel like by the end of the season, he could average 1 steal and 1 block, and that'd be really impressive. Any player that averages 1 steal and 1 block, you're pretty much not elite, but you're a very good defensive player to be able to do that. And for a rookie to be able to do that would be really impressive. But the 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1 steal, almost 1 block, 80% from the free throw line. Again, really good numbers from the free throw line. He is getting 4 attempts per game, so we'd like to see him get that up. You saw how many attempts he got this game, so he's obviously being a bit more aggressive, especially when Anthony Davis isn't on the court. Then, the 48% from the field, 25% from 3, so his 3 ball, his 3 ball is horrible, but he'll get it better. Only 2 turnovers per game. That's really impressive. That's pretty low turnover numbers, especially for how much he has the ball in his hands. So I'm not worried about Cooper at all. After the VJ Edgecomb performance earlier in the season, people love to overreact to one performance, but there hasn't been one time all season where I've wavered off of Cooper Flagg and said maybe he shouldn't have been the number one pick in the draft. People love to freak out again over one game. I like to wait for at least 20 games to go by before I make like real assessments of a player. Of course, I'm going to react to each game individually just for those individual performances. But before I say this guy is a bust or this guy is this or that, I have to see at least 20 games. Now we're 26 games into the season. We're almost 1/3 of the way through the entire season, and Cooper looks great out there. He was definitely deserving of the number one overall pick, and I feel like he would go number one again in this year's draft. Just to be totally honest, AJ, Cameron Boozer, I haven't seen anything from those guys that would make me want to take those guys over Cooper in the draft. Cameron Boozer looks better offensively. He looks like a more efficient player. He has a more developed post game. He has a better three ball, but just with what Cooper brings at the defensive end, and with Cooper's ceiling, I think I would still take Cooper over those guys. I could see some people maybe liking AJ Dybantsa better, and I think AJ's kind of a gamble, just like Cooper. It's maybe a little bit of a gamble versus like Cameron Boozer, but AJ and Cooper, they just have such high ceilings, and they can already produce at a solid level at this point. So I'm excited to see how those guys look when they come out this next year. But Cooper Flagg, these last 10 games, he's averaging 22 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. He's 49% from the field, 85% from the free throw line, then a big 18% from 3. So again, his 3 ball is complete ass. I feel like he'll get better at it. We might not see a bunch of improvements in his rookie year from his 3-point shot, but I'm sure that's probably the number one thing he's working on in the gym. It's his 3 ball right now. But again, 22 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. That's these past 10 games, and every time I look at his stats, they're just getting better and better, game in and game out. So Cooper's been spectacular. He's obviously not a bust out there. If you look at his scoring numbers, as far as the youngest players to score this many points, it's just him, LeBron James, and Kobe. Anytime you have a Cooper Flagg discussion as far as 18, 19-year-olds scoring a certain amount of points before a certain age, like he's the youngest player to ever score 40-plus points in NBA history. So, he's showing leaps and flashes out there. He's been really consistent all season long. So, I think most of the Cooper Flagg haters are kind of quieting down at this point. VJ Edgecomb, I love Edgecomb, but he's obviously not a better player than Cooper Flagg. I think Dylan Harper is great as well. I'm a Spurs fan, so I love Dylan Harper. I think Dylan Harper may be a better offensive player than Cooper Flagg in the long run, but Cooper Flagg brings so much overall that, I can't argue the Mavericks taking him number one. But please like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 7 million subscribers before Christmas. Let me know what you think about Cooper's season so far. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.